even though she didn't help me in my game, I'm still going to have a chat with her. We move on. Parents who take keen interest in their children learning and development will help them soar. Here to talk more about this, we have with us licensed associate clinical psychologist and lecturer at the University of Technology, Nikisha Passad. Big things. Good morning. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Before I ask you what that acronym means, who is an associate clinical psychologist?
Okay, so what that means is that I am trained to work with both children and adults who are going through different emotional issues, so whether it be depression, anxiety, whatever it is, I'm trained to help persons like that.
Oh, fantastic. What is SOAR?
Okay.
In this case, because I know...
Well, SOAR, it's actually a play on words.
Yeah.
So when I wrote the article, it was for Child's Month, and the meaning of their acronym was striving to overcome adversities with resilience. So their theme was I Soar. So I put a little twist on it so that it was referring to parents. So how parents can help their children to soar, so to strive to overcome adversities through resilience.
Yeah. I guess because of the pandemic, it's even more in our face now, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Is this a one-size-fits-all? Because kids are different.
Yes, kids are different, but what is important for parents is to emphasize the authoritative parenting style. And what the authoritative parenting style what it does is that it has 3 key principles. So it just basically it's telling parents to show warmth, be responsive, and to just support their child. Also to just encourage autonomy and independence, as well as to have positive discipline and to set boundaries. So if parents consistently implement these principles, they can help their children to just be resilient.
How early you start doing this with your child?
From very early. So from they are born, you show them love, you show them support. As they get older, you give them that sense of autonomy. So children go through different developmental stages. So if it is that you show these principles from the get-go, then your child is on a good way to just striving and soaring and just being resilient.
From I was very young, I keep hearing it's easier said than done.
It is.
And some of us as parents, and I say us deliberately because I'm a parent, some of us really don't know what you're talking about.
Definitely.
We kind of know what our parents did, and we pick and choose what we think was good. So how do we get to understand to do what you're telling us to do?
So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to break down the principles for you.
Right.
So for example, the first one, when I encourage parents to show warmth and support and be responsive, one of the main things that you can do is through active listening. So I would encourage parents to just minimize all distractions. So when your child is going through something emotional, when they're finding things challenging, what they can do is just truly focus on them. So put away the phones, let them know that you're listening and not just hearing, and you're acknowledging their feelings. So by doing that, what's happening is that they're feeling as if they're heard, their feelings are valued, and what that does is that it helps them to feel more self-confident, have a higher self-esteem as they grow older. The second one is we encourage parents to show autonomy, to foster autonomy and independence in children. And I think the greatest gift a parent can do for a child is to help them to be independent adults, because what that does is that it helps them to be well-adjusted individuals. And so autonomy, it can be done in simple ways. So whether it is just helping your child to, or allowing your child rather, to choose their outfit for today, choose what flavor ice cream it is, and also help allowing your child to problem solve. You know, as parents, sometimes we would want to rush in and to solve every problem for them. You allow them, give them the opportunity to figure things out on their own, because what that does is that when life throws things at them, when they go through challenges and difficulties, what it does is that they are learning from very early to figure out things on their own.
Implement boundaries and positive discipline.
Yes. Now, in our Jamaican society, a lot of times we resort to using the belt or using the broom or whatever we get, and we say some words that we don't really mean. So we say them out of frustration. But what this is saying is that with positive discipline, what we should try to do is that we build that positive relationship with our child. And so if it is that from very early they know what those boundaries are, so from the get-go they know that this is inappropriate or this is unacceptable. So when they know that from very early, if it is they deviate from whatever rules was in place, now you as the parent now can have that discussion with them, and both of you, or from the get-go, they would have known that this is unacceptable, and so they know the consequence that follows.
So don't tell them, say, we knock off your head, you know, because
usually what that
really
does...
don't say, you know, knock off their head, and they know that too.
Yes, and what that does, though, you're doing it out of, like, frustration. And what the discipline, because oftentimes they think that, oh, if you show your child love, you're not supposed to discipline them. No, but if it is consistent and it is firm, what it does is that they understand that the point of you disciplining them is because you love them, and at the end of the day, it's because you're trying to teach them life lessons. So it's more proactive as opposed to reactive.
Yeah.
Because when we punish and hit with the broom and say all the things that we don't really mean, it's not going to be effective, and the child doesn't necessarily understand why is it you're behaving in that way, or why it is that their behavior was inappropriate.
Fantastic. In case any parents tuning in now, recap all that you said in a nutshell.
All right, so basically what I'd encourage parents to do very easily is to, first of all, is to set aside time to just actively listen to what your child is saying. Encourage a growth mindset. What that means is that you're going to support your child, help them to understand that, listen, failure is a part of the process and it's okay. And also they should set aside time to self-care, because especially now in the COVID-19 pandemic, you see, when you're frustrated, it's very difficult to parent. So set aside time to self-care. And also, if it is that you need professional help, don't be afraid to ask for help, because oftentimes in our Jamaican society, we have this stigma about getting help, but at the end of the day, we all need help at some point. So if you need help, seek professional help.
You know your stuff. Thanks for coming.
All right, thank you for having me.
Say hi to your, I was going to say kids, but you teach at the tertiary.
Okay.
So say hi to the students.
Okay, hi students, hi to my niece, my nephews.
You teach them too?
Of course, definitely. Teaching is a part of who I am. I'm a part of the Child and Adolescent Development Program. So at the end of the day, I'm equipping the young adults to go out and to help other children as well.
Say hi to?
Dr. Pottinger, my mommy, my daddy, my sisters, family, friends.
Anybody else?
My students.
You said that already. Nikisha Passad, a licensed associate clinical psychologist and lecturer at the University of Technology. And next time we see her, she'll be Dr. Passad.
All right, thank you.
So on the other side of the break, we get an update on the Ministry of Education's National Summer Program. Soon come, folks. Stay with us, please.